I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if someone make a motion to approve our agenda, please.
Just a question.
Okay,
We are canceling the July 25th meeting? It is already.
Yeah, it was never scheduled.
Okay, so we didn't need to cancel it. Okay.
Okay.
That was my question.
so we're good?
Yep.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Sandy. Second,
I'll second.
thank you, Jeff. All in favor? Any opposed? Any public comment? I don't have anybody signed up. Anybody here to talk? Nope. All right, moving on. Approval of our consent agenda by motion, please.
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
Thank you, Shay. Second,
Second the motion.
thank you, Jeff. Any discussion on that consent agenda? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, moving on to our regular agenda. Tax collector property settlement statement through June 30, 2024.
Good evening, Town Council. North Carolina statutes require that the tax collector presents a settlement statement at the end of the year, at the first meeting in July, before being charged to collect the next year's taxes. So you have before you the property tax settlement. The original levy back in last August was $3,752,993.64. If you add the discoveries, the present use value program deferments lost, and whatever charge adjustments and the inclusion of utilities, that added $62,602.27. When we subtracted the deferments and exemptions of $94,723.92 and the amounts released over the course of the year for various reasons of $13,816.90, the total adjusted levy is $3,707,055.09. That would be 100% collection rate if we had collected all that money. The actual real and personal property collections through June 30, 2024 were $3,689,616.62. There were no refunds. Interest and penalties collected were $8,671.26, and that gives us a collection rate of 99.53%. And the balance of the adjusted levy to collect is $17,438.47. And those numbers are all unaudited. Hopefully they'll be confirmed in August.
Good job,
Okay.
Early.
On that, all you had to do is give us a statement, right? You don't need no motion from us to move forward.
You do not need to make a motion.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
With nothing more on that, we'll move on to B, consideration of resolution 2024-07 tax collector charge for 2024.
So again, North Carolina statutes require that after the settlement statement has been presented and before we get the scroll from Henderson County, the town council needs to, by motion, accept this resolution
Okay, all right.
to collect taxes for
Has
the
all of,
present year.
council read over this resolution and understand it and agree with it? Okay. If someone make a motion to approve this resolution for her to be able to collect taxes for us.
Mayor Gauntz, I'll move that we adopt resolution 2024-07, the collector charge as presented.
Thank you, Jeff. Second,
I'll second.
thank you, Shay. Any more discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Moving on to C, the UDO.
So, as you know, staff has been working towards securing a consultant to develop a unified development ordinance for the town and also updating the land use codes in the same process. Town council originally allocated 200,000 for this in the FY 22-23 budget, and that's been carried forward to the current budget. Little background, this goes back a little ways. We issued the request for qualifications in January. We got 3 responses. They were blindly scored against a scoring rubric, and so the selected consultant, Code Right Planners, the contract before you tonight, scored the highest. When myself and the previous town manager reviewed those proposals, town attorney reviewed this, couple minor changes that were all accepted by the consultant, and he signed off on it. There's a very detailed scope of services and draft project schedule that I'm happy to go through with you if you want additional detail on that. But right now, the contract for consideration is to complete the UDO and land use code update, and we will also be given a proposed zoning map for the town. So looking at everything comprehensively in a not to exceed amount of $194,000. And that also includes 40 hours of post-project pro bono consulting, whether it be additional codification, additional text amendments, whatever it may be.
Okay.
So the recommendation tonight from staff is authorizing the interim town manager to sign the contract with Code Right Planners for the purpose of completing the UDO.
Okay.
Happy to take questions.
Any questions for Michael on this? We've discussed this for a couple of years now, but something that needs to be done for sure.
Was there a big difference in their score and whoever didn't make it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there was, I don't want to disclose the other parties that didn't get it, but yeah, there was a slight gap between this one and the other one below them, and then there was a larger gap with the third place finisher. In terms of price range, the one that scored closer was about like 20,000 less. But Daniel and I, both having the planning background, really felt this was going to be the best bang for the buck and setting the town up for the future.
Any more questions? What was the time frame they thought to complete all this?
18 months.
18 months.
So, and again, there's been slight delays because I didn't want to start the project without the new town manager in place. So if we do kick off in August, even if there's a month delay, it'd be January, February of 26, I think it says, when the project would be
Yes.
completed.
Yes, okay. All right. Anything else? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to move forward with this by motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the UDO consultant contract as written and authorize the interim town manager to sign it.
Thank you, Shay. Second.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Jeff. Any more discussion on this UDO before moving on? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Okay. Rolling right along, we're gonna take a look at this, library lease and review and discuss it, maybe approve. Who wants to lead us in that?
I'll do that.
Thank you, Mr. Bone.
So the North Carolina League of Municipalities basically performed a risk assessment for the town, and one of the items that they recognized was there needed to be a lease agreement between the town and the county. Anyone is a lease occupying space for the town needs to have a lease to deal with the risk, liability, and other performance items that you'd like to see in an agreement. So what you have before you is a lease that has been vetted with staff and with your town attorney. Also, we have received some input from most of the council members So the latest draft has everyone's input included in it. And so what we'd like to do is take this draft, send it to the county, let them know this is where the town is. And if they have a response or if they have a counter on some of the terms or some of the issues, and they would be free to do that. But we'll send it back to the league concurrently so that if they see any red flags with this latest version, they can send us that information. So it will be fully vetted by the time it comes back to you for signature.
Okay.
So we're asking you to approve this copy, paper copy that's before you. And it's has everyone's input in it. And then we'll send that to the county and then back to the league for their review.
It's on this side. It's right here somewhere, right there. So anybody got any questions on this? I know we've been back and forth over emails with it for a week and a half or so now. Anything else new pop up we need to put in the limelight, or are we good to send it on to the county by approving it tonight?
Mayor Gunther, may I just share a
Yes,
comment?
absolutely.
That reviewing the lease agreement and submitting some responses, my overall thinking was I wanted to not take a heavy hand with this approach. That the only reason we have a library is because of previous council, and you may have been on that council,
Mhm.
provide the space, but it's an invaluable resource in service to the residents. So I don't really want to see us getting a squabble with the county over small potatoes. I think the appropriate time that maybe we want to ask for a greater investment by the county, maybe if we decided we need a standalone library building, it might be appropriate to talk with the county commissioners and the county manager about what role they might want to play in freestanding. But at this point, I'm not bothered by the county, or excuse me, I'm not bothered by the town picking up the majority of the cost for maintenance and upkeep because of the service they provide, maybe some housekeeping.
Gotcha.
Me too. Take off the HVAC repair. Get a separate system, doesn't your, you don't, that's not worth the hassle essentially.
Well, I just want to express where I was coming from, that I didn't want to dicker with the county if they had some pushback with, maybe be on the hook for $10,000 or something to sour the relationship. It's been working well at this point and for what it provides the town residents with. So not that I think it should be a free ride forever and always, but maybe the next time that we would come hand in hand to say, can you play a bigger role in the library in Mills River? Maybe, if we have to construct more space for the library, and then maybe they could, 'cause I can understand sitting in this seat that a lot of times you're less bothered by one-time capital expense versus a constant reoccurring, especially if it's a change. So I think maybe, or my hope is that the county would be more receptive if we asked for one time. If it was for a drastic remodel improvement, new construction, they might pony up just a one-time payment as opposed to being on the hook for just whatever happens out here at the library branch in Mills River.
Are we going to ask for rent? Probably not,
Doubt
or
it.
something nominal.
Have you been in discussion with the county manager at all about this?
Have not,
prior? Okay.
no. We had a meeting with the library director and then the branch manager
Okay.
before she departed, and we wanted to try to document and memorialize some operational issues into an agreement as well because she was leaving. And so we have done that, but I have not had a discussion with
Okay.
John Mitchell or
Okay.
Russ Burrell. But what we can do, if it would please the board, is we can drop watermark draft on this so they know this is a proposal. And in an email, we basically can say, we want to hear your thoughts and we want to maintain this partnership as we move forward. Who knows, there may be bigger things in the future we take a look at, but right now we just want to get this in place and make sure that both parties are satisfied with it. We can soften it up. So
There
Okay.
aren't any other branches in the same situation, are there? Everybody else, I
it's-
think, is standalone.
I think the building in Fletcher, that building was provided by someone other
That's
than
kind of a hot
county.
button too. though, right, Jim?
Yeah, so the current Fletcher Library, I believe, is owned by the Community Foundation. Jim, is that sound correct? The town of Fletcher in the past has
Has begged for another
begged
one
for a
that,
bigger
that doesn't go over well.
facility, and the county has not been super receptive to that.
Yeah.
I think the Etowah, trying to remember, we
Etowah's is
talked about it during that meeting.
in a building by itself.
Can't
Yeah, I think it
remember
is
if he
too.
owns it or if somebody else does. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I know the county definitely owns the big library downtown. But I think we are in a unique situation where with the municipality owning
Right, owning their
the
space.
space that the library is occupying. We're the only ones in the county.
Okay. Um,
But we have an MOU for everything else we do with the county, like soccer and baseball.
Yeah, so with Henderson County Public Schools, we don't currently have any MOUs with the county government itself. So for soccer, we make them bill it just like a soccer field rental,
Mhm.
but we've always waived the fee. That has been so they do fill out something with liability, but it's not an official MOU on that.
So I think between the league, and, the work by Town Attorney Alexander, she has created a document that largely addresses the concerns of the league about exposure. And, but still, we'd send it back to the league for a final review and send it to the county. So there'll be some modifications to it, but we just thought, let's get the ball rolling and let folks know that it's a work in progress.
I think it'll be all right. Send it over and let them look at it.
Yeah.
Any more questions on it before we, make a motion to adopt? Anybody got anything else they thought about?
Can I just, was there a consensus on the HVAC that we were gonna drop that from the
Uh,
version we send over? Was there?
It's a,
I doubt the library has much of a budget for things like that, and that could probably cripple.
And I can, just everything else in here basically reflects how we already operate.
Yeah.
Other than the HVAC, that's the only
Yeah.
change that's in the current version.
I
But
had
it's
a-
not how we currently have a handshake agreement essentially.
I had a leased, or before we owned one of the businesses in my funeral home a couple years ago, cemetery technically leased the building, and the lease was set up that we own the building, so we still maintain the HVAC. They paid rent for the office space, but we still maintained
well,
all that stuff. They just were renters.
yeah, I think, in the past, and I've been around this for a long time, it's always been, they'll provide the books, get the books here, get the books returned,
Staff.
then staff it. And then we provide the energy, the building, the cover, whatever it needs as far as structure goes. Where it's always been, so now's the time to say drop it or leave it in there. So.
They have their own thermostat.
mm,
You're gonna go
Yeah.
the log on
Do,
it?
Yeah, so like if you've been out and back of this building, there's 3 separate units. And so one strictly does town hall. So once you get past our door, that town hall building, there's one unit that does this space, the restrooms, the kitchen and the hallway. And then one unit that only services the library with their own thermostat there.
Would it be worth just mentioning that we do maintain that expense, and just so they have that to consider when they look at it?
Programmable
Yeah,
thermostat.
anything,
cuts
yeah,
At night.
yeah, anything's possible to put, I mean, you can leave it in there. I mean,
But just let them.
they're gonna
Take it.
doctor on it before we get it back.
Well, as far as haggling goes, they may feel a little better if they have voice. If you leave it in there and they say, we don't want to do that, and you take it out, it may show that you're trying to work with them, and we certainly can put that in the email. We really want you to go through this and
Yeah.
tell us what you like, don't
Yeah.
like, what you're willing to do.
Okay.
Just a lot of.
Send it as is that what y'all was saying? If so, someone make us a motion to do so. If you got any more questions, I'll entertain question or discussion. It don't matter. big deal, but a little deal at the same time. We just need a lease. I mean, insurance wise and everything. We need a lease. And they'll understand that part of it shortly.
I'll make a motion to approve the lease with Henderson County for the Mills River Branch Library with discussed modification or I make a motion that we approve the lease agreement
Okay,
as written, but letting them know that we are open to negotiations.
okay. Fair enough. Second,
Second.
who is it? Jeff?
Jeff can have it, that's fine.
Jeff got it. Okay.
Second page.
Okay, Sandra, then Jeff. All right, any more discussion on it?
So just a question involving that. So it'll bear a watermark of draft or preliminary or something to that effect when it goes to the county.
Yes,
Just for reference.
yes,
Okay.
Not what we would do.
absolutely.
All right. All right, got any more discussion? Hearing none? Mr. Baldwin, just make sure you make that phone call for us and let them know it's coming and how it's, coming to them.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's mother? Oh, she did. Okay.
Okay. All right, any more discussion? Hearing none? All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. All right, when we get caught up, we're gonna move on to dog in the workplace. Look at that resolution.
Tell me when you're ready.
Almost ready, sir. Everybody caught up? All right, we're ready.
All right. At your last meeting, June the 13th, distributed a survey and collected those results from you at the end of our meeting. And compiled those results, looked at those results, and then basically drafted a resolution reflecting that survey, and then also making sure that we had all the documents that we've been working on over many weeks now, looking at the issue here in Town Hall. And so based on the documents that were generated and looking at the resolution, I recommend that you approve Resolution 2024-08 as drafted and as reviewed by your town attorney and edited by your town attorney. Looking at your town attorney's email as well as or memo, as well as a memo from the League of Municipalities. Again, it's a similar thing when it comes to risk and liability. And so that's big picture type items. And so all the details are in the resolution. Be glad to answer any questions. I would say that looking at the resolution that was prepared for you by staff, you basically have three options. You can adopt it as presented. You can adopt it with modifications, or you can choose to table this. You didn't have these options on some of the other things you looked at, but you do have that on this. But I recommend that you do adopt the resolution as it's presented and as reviewed and edited by your town attorney.
Okay, questions, discussions?
Question I'd have for interim town manager is that would the natural progression be a animals and town-owned building policy to follow this at some point in time?
So if you take a look at the last item in the resolution, it basically says, you know, that changes be made to all relevant town policies to reflect this order where needed. And after adopting this, what you're really doing is you're establishing, you know, basically some parameters. And then you would need to follow up in areas where you feel like there needs to be clarification. So we certainly can do that. Yes.
So basically like when in this thing, there's no, service dogs or anything such as that mentioned, that would be part of that we would work on in policy process in the next 60 days during this. Is that what we would do and all that?
So if you harken back to your attorney's memo, she recognizes
Mhm.
that.
That-
So you do need to recognize that and make sure that you don't mistakenly apply this in a way that violates any state or federal law. You don't want to do that.
Right, right. That's what I'm
that-
asking.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Okay. Questions, discussions, anything else? Hearing none. Motion? Any of the above?
Maybe I'll predicate any, with just a comment. It's as the resolution spells out, the presence of dogs in town hall was authorized by a previous town manager without consent of the council at that time. So it's been an ongoing practice through the process. I've learned there's been as many as 12 dogs in town hall, which I have a problem with that person, especially since we're to try to renovate and upgrade the town's people's building. I have reluctance doing it with that current situations. I think the process was a little cumbersome. The resolution, I'm going to see the objective. It's, I don't know, it's consumed a lot of time and a lot of resources to get where we're at. But I think to best serve the residents of Mills River, I think we need to have a animal in town building policy, because we can't keep strange dogs from coming through the front door, because the policy says some dogs are allowed and some dogs are not. And being just pets. Yes, we need to exclude ADA service animals as well as K9 law enforcement, those type service animals. That being said, we can't do that. We can't protect the town citizens until we make it clear. This is trying to get us there, so. For that reason, I will move that we adopt the resolution. I move that we adopt the resolution documenting careful study and ordering of removal of dogs in the town workplace.
That'd be resolution number 2024-08, correct?
Yes, if you include that. in my motion.
Okay, all right. If you're okay with that modification, I need a second.
Well, I'd like to say something before I second it. Being notified by the town attorney and the League of Municipalities of the liabilities of having the dogs in the workplace, I believe that it is in the town's best interest to proceed with just allowing service dogs and personal pets would be at home. And I know that that's personal with a lot of staff, and I'm sorry, but I believe that this is for the better of the town. And I believe that it's something that we should have addressed a long time ago, but it was just always happening. So it's before us now and we have to look at it. So I will second the motion.
We got a first by Jeff, a second by Sandra. Any discussion on this before moving on? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none. Okay, That one carries. When y'all get caught up, we'll move on to staff updates.
Just a reminder, there's an LGCCA meeting next Tuesday, the 16th at 3 PM. And auditors will be in the building on July 24th for the first day, all day.
Okay. We still have that joint meeting with planning board on the 23rd at 6 o'clock. Is that correct? Yes. Michael's nodding yes. Okay, tax collector,
I have no further.
no update. Parks and Rec,
Yeah, I've got a bunch of events coming. So tomorrow is Snorkel Day. We'll have Pisgah River Rangers out here, Mills River Partnership, and the North Carolina Fish and Wildlife folks. So it'll be a really fun day. Starting at 11 o'clock. Bring your snorkel. We'll have some here, but gives good opportunity to get in the river. Just picnic with professionals will continue the next 2 Wednesdays. So we had the Sheriff's Department. Thank you all for coming. This Wednesday, we had a great turnout, and then Emergency Management and Blue Ridge Humane Society will be here the next 2 weeks. July 26th, we got a blood drive coming, and then August, we hit the ground running before kids go back to school. So August 4th, save the date, party in the park. Big event run by the church. The town gives away free bike helmets that day. August the 9th will be our splash bash. So that's the Friday before we go back to school. So we're gonna do a big water day out in the park. We'll have water slide, all sorts of fun stuff. And then August 10th is our next big park. So lots of fun things happening before the kids get back to school.
awesome. All right, Michael, plan director.
Just following up on your comment about the sorry. It's actually a planning board meeting where council is attending. That's how we advertised
Okay.
it. So I just don't want to surprise you. The planning board will be up front. I think we'll have tables for council members set on the side, but that is a week and a half away, the 23rd at 6 PM. We've gotten 175 survey responses online and paper so far. We sent out 1,032, so that's a 17% response rate, which is pretty good for surveys. They're still trickling in, so we're going to keep that open probably until the planning board meeting in August. I'll do a preliminary review of the data we've received so far in the public input meeting, but I really want to make that more about giving people a chance to
Sure.
speak.
Absolutely.
So when we get to the planning board meeting in August, we'll have closed the survey and we'll have a full report on all the data then. And then if the rezoning gets to council, we'll have that for you at that public hearing as well.
Awesome. Anything else? All right, town manager.
Yes, sir. So I just sent the weekly update report out to you guys. That covers 2 weeks. You didn't get one last week. We had July the 4th holiday. So some of the reports come in, some didn't. I will be out next week, vacation. And then my last day will be the 25th. Mr. McKirahan comes the 29th. I'm available via phone, email, whatever he needs, but I think he's got it, unless you guys want me to stay on for some other reason, but I think we're probably good. So this will be my last meeting with you. I've been honored to serve you these last 2 to 3 months. I appreciate your trust, and I think we got some things done. I think will be helpful to you. So appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Council comments. Have we been able to make any progress with talking to Brittany Brady about the airport situation at all?
Have not had a conversation with her.
So
New manager.
new manager, or you want me to, because I'm getting phone calls. You want me to make that phone call to her tomorrow? I'll do that. I'll do that. I might need to make sure I got her number before we leave tonight. Okay. All right, thank you. Anything else? Hear none? All right, I need a motion to adjourn. Shay, second.
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. All in favor?
Ah.
Aye. Any opposed? We're out of here.